Hi guys, welcome back to our Maine Homestead. So last time you saw us dehydrate an active sourdough starter, today we are going to show you how to rehydrate that dehydrated starter. So you'll need your dehydrated starter, you'll need some flour, unbleached. That's the key one. So it can be organic, it can be whole wheat, it can be gluten-free, whatever you want. It just needs to be an unbleached flour, and then you'll need some water. I like to use distilled water. I've said in some of my past videos that I have tried to use well water to rehydrate or get an active sourdough starter going, and my sourdough starters do not like well water. So they do really, really well with distilled water. I just get a gallon of that from the grocery store, and that's what I use. So you'll need those three things, and let's go ahead and get started rehydrating our sourdough starter. So the process is going to be pretty similar to starting one from scratch. However, you're going to have your sourdough starter powder here. So I'm just going to get a spoonful of that, put it into my jar, feed it about a 1-to-1 ratio. So essentially another spoonful of flour. And we're going to put that in there. I like to use the King Arthur unbleached all-purpose flour. And then we are going to add a little water until we get a thick pancake batter-like consistency. So I just added a little bit of water. I'm going to give it a good stir, see if more water needs to be added or not. Yep, it's a little bit dry, so a little bit more water. I will timestamp all of these feedings, but just like starting a sourdough starter from scratch, we will be cluster feeding, also known as feeding every 12 hours, until we get a nice active starter. Starting a sourdough starter from scratch took me about 8.5 to 9 days to do. I will post a link to that video right here if you want to check that out. So this is what it looks like today at our very first feeding, and I'm just going to put a lid just resting on top. No ring, we don't want it to be airtight, but I'm just going to loosely sit a lid on top of that, sit it on our counter, and we'll let it do its thing. Good morning, everybody. So I want you guys to take a peek at this. We have a nice active bubbly starter that has doubled overnight. So 2 feedings, 24 hours later, we have an active starter. We're actually just gonna see if it passes the float test before we talk a little bit more about it. So here we go. All right, so we've got our water, and I'm just gonna take a little spoonful of our starter, drop it in there, and we're floating. So we did not sink to the bottom, So as you can see, in just 2 feedings, in 24 hours, we have an active starter that is ready to bake with, which is a lot faster than starting a sourdough starter from scratch. So there are tons and tons of places, even online, where you can buy dehydrated starter. I follow several ladies on Instagram who I know sell it. Alexa from Sprouts on Sprouts, Ashley from Untamed Farm, Ash from Turner Farm, Hannah from Ballerina Farm, Lizzie from the Food Nanny. Lots and lots of different places, and those are just a handful of ladies who I personally know via Instagram who sell dehydrated sourdough. So I'll put links to all of their information in the comment or in the video description below. You can of course reach out to them if you are interested in getting a dehydrated starter, because like I said, it just is so much faster than doing one from scratch. However, you have to buy it. So it's not something that you can just do with materials you have on hand at home. You have to go out and find that dehydrated starter to start with. So I hope you enjoyed this video. The dehydration process and the rehydration process are a little bit shorter videos than starting sourdough starter from scratch, but I hope you guys got a lot of great information and tips, and if you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.